everyone, this is Phoebe Wild from Cardboard Vault here at GenCon50, talking to Isaac Childres from Cephalofair Games. Did I say that correctly?
Cephalofair. But
Cephalofair, there we go.
Yeah.
And we're here talking about the upcoming Founders of Gloomhaven.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit, so this is the sequel to the Gloomhaven.
Yeah, technically it's like a prequel because it's set before the events of the campaign.
And it's a very different style of game, from my understanding.
Yeah, so this is a heavy Euro game, tile placement, hand management with a deck of cards. Yeah, not a dungeon crawl, not killing monsters, just more about, building a city sort of cooperatively, but it's a competitive game.
Well, tell us a little bit about, how the game plays and what players will be doing during the game.
Yeah, sure. So the basic idea is that you're all different races, that are familiar to Gloomhaven fans, who have sort of come together to build this city. And each of you controls different resources. So there are 8 basic resources in the game, and you have like complete ownership of 2 of those resources. But you're going to need different people's resources because the whole point is to combine your resources with someone else's resources to make like a higher tier resource. And then deliver those higher tier resources to point buildings to earn points, right? Eventually you always want to get the most points. So it's there's a little bit of collaboration there on working with other people, but you always want to make sure that you end up with the most points in the deal.
And so is there like a trading aspect to the game or negotiation or anything like that?
No, not really negotiation. It's just all acted out through action cards. So like if I want access to your resource, I would just play a card to buy access to it and give you some amount of money for the transaction.
And so what was the inspiration behind, I guess, making a prequel to Gloomhaven but making it a very different style of game?
Well, you work on a dungeon crawl game for like 2 years and you get a little bit tired of working on something like that and you want to design something, completely different. So that's what I ended up doing. And really it was more inspired by like video games that I had been playing, like Big Pharma, like these very logistics heavy games where you're sort of taking one thing and putting it into something and turning it into something else and sort of moving it along like a logistics chain. That sort of concept to me is very interesting, especially like the spatial aspect of it, because I really love spatial components in games. And so yeah, I wanted to sort of turn that into a board game. But of course, at the same time, sort of continue to expand and explore the world of Gloomhaven. So I thought it'd be interesting to sort of tell the story of how the town is founded in the first place.
That's really cool. And so how does the spatial aspect come into play in this game?
Well, so yeah, you've got your board here, and so everything that you're doing, all your resources and all the point buildings are getting placed out on this board. And the main idea is that, if you want to use something for something else, it has to be connected to it. So you've got all these different shapes that you're sort of working with, and you're building these road tiles out on the board to sort of connect things to different other things. So something is connected to something else if you can sort of draw a line through a series of roads to it. So yeah, you end up with a very spatially heavy game. As more and more stuff gets placed on the board, you got to sort of figure out where the best place to put everything is.
And you mentioned it's a heavy game. About how long does it take to play?
About 2 hours. So if you're fairly familiar with the game, your first game, learning the rules, it might take something more like 3. But by your second play, once you're familiar with everything, you can easily play it in 2 hours.
And how many players is it for?
1 to 4 players. So we developed a solo mode as well, where you just sort of control all 8 resources and you're just trying to build everything as fast as possible. It works really well, I think. And then also competitively 2 to 4 players.
And so this is a prototype version at the moment. So some of the art is final, the graphic design and everything.
So the art for like the resource buildings and stuff is final. But yeah, we're still working on tweaking graphic design here and there. So more artwork. Like all of these will have unique individual images. And I'm really excited about how it's going to turn out. I think it's going to look great and play great. And I'm really excited for people to get it and try it out.
That's awesome. When can people expect the game to be released?
So we should be delivering to Kickstarter backers in January. We've got about 2 more months of getting all the artwork and everything done and get it off to the printers, and so it should be out in January. Retail release might be February or late January, something around there. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for showing us the game and talking to us today.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming out and talking to me.
Absolutely.
Always a good time.
This is Founders of Gloomhaven by Spatiality Games.
Yep.
I did it. Spatiality Games here at GenCon50. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.